Today, Cabinet agreed to the reconstitution of the board of Caribbean New Media Network. The new chairman is Mr. Timothy Alfonso, who previously served as the vice chairman, and the board includes Ms. Alice Borrell, who returns, Ms. Lida Ali, who returns, Ms. Jenian Polida, an accountant, and Ms. Adana Castellano Jones, human resource manager. With that announcement, I would hand you over to the Honorable Minister of Finance, who has some announcements to make.
I've come to this media conference just to clarify issues. Firstly, let me clarify the issues with respect to the release of funds by the European Union for payments to cane farmers. I have checked again today. You will recall at the last press conference I confirmed that the funds had not been received from the European Union, and I checked with the Ministry of Finance officials and the Ministry of Planning officials this morning before I came to Cabinet, and they have confirmed that the funds have not been released. So the statement made by the opposition leader yesterday or the day before that the funds have been released is not true. So I just thought I would clear that up. I also want to deal with the ArcelorMittal matter. I will be meeting with the Steelworkers Union on Friday. I have sent an invitation to the union to meet with me on Friday morning, and I've also sent an invitation to the company to meet with me also on Friday morning. And on Monday, I will have a detailed press conference advising on the outcome of those discussions with the Steelworkers Union and representatives of ArcelorMittal. I can answer some questions on this matter later on in this press conference if you so wish. You are aware, of course, that the International Monetary Fund was in Trinidad and Tobago for Article 4 consultations over the last 10 days or so. We had our end of mission meeting with them on Tuesday afternoon, and the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, has issued a statement, a press release. It's on the IMF website, so it's posted there, so you can go to the website to get the press release. It's dated March 17th, which is today. And again, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have on the statements made by the IMF with respect to their visit and in terms of what the government is doing, how they view the actions being taken by the government, and their recommendations in terms of what we in Trinidad and Tobago need to do to weather the storm created by the collapse of commodity prices. Although I saw this morning that West Texas Intermediate has gone over $40, the view is that it's too volatile at this point to take much comfort in that. We have to assume that oil prices will be depressed until and unless there's some clear signals coming out from OPEC. And finally, I'd like to address a statement made by the leader of the opposition with respect to Mr. Brooks, the chairman of NGC. Now, Mr. Brooks is very capable of taking care of himself. But since the matter was raised by the opposition leader, former Prime Minister, former Attorney General, I thought I would just state the facts that it has been the practice for at least 20 years, maybe longer, that the chairman of NGC would also chair the major subsidiaries of NGC. And I also checked today, and that the former chairman, Mr. Chedi Singh, also chaired several subsidiaries of NGC and also received the stipend for these subsidiaries. And the opposition leader, who was a former Prime Minister and former Attorney General, should know this, and therefore to give the impression that this is something new is mischievous. I would also say that this government is reviewing these arrangements to see whether it is appropriate that chairmen of boards that have subsidiaries and associated companies should also get stipends for serving on the boards of those companies, those associated companies and subsidiaries. But in the particular case of NGC, because of the condition of that company with the failed Beetham wastewater plant, the drastic reduction in revenues, the fact that the company seemed to have lost its way, getting involved in building recreation grounds and that sort of thing, that we think it's important that the new chairman, for the time being, chair the major subsidiaries until a new CEO has been recruited, which is being done using a fair and transparent process. But we are going to review this practice that has existed, as I said, for at least 20 years, that chairmen of state corporations that have subsidiaries also chair the subsidiaries.